Hi, in this video I'll be showing you how to merge releases in MusicBrainz. There are two scenarios where you might need to merge releases. The first one is when you find a duplicate release. And the second one is when you find a multi-disc release which is separated into its different discs. Before merging releases, you should make sure that the releases you wish to merge are really the same. For example, releases with different barcodes or formats are not duplicates, and thus they shouldn't be merged. There are also some technical requirements that need to be met when you're merging releases. Firstly, the number of tracks must be the same in all releases. If you're sure the releases are duplicates, make the necessary changes to make the track numbers equal. This might involve adding more tracks or deleting some tracks. Secondly, if one or more multi-disc releases are involved, the position of the mediums needs to be brought into alignment before the final edit. I'll explain this in detail later on. There are also some other things to consider. Merging releases will also merge recordings, so only merge the releases when the recordings are in the same order. If it is not in order, fix it. All relationships, labels, and catalog numbers from the releases will be moved to the destination release. Barcodes won't. Date and country pairs will only move if the destination release doesn't already have a date for that country. You also don't have to worry about the same information being duplicated. However, this means that wrong information from the merged releases can be transferred to the destination release, so be careful. If you come across a duplicate release that's riddled with errors, you might feel inclined to remove it. However, it's usually better to merge duplicate releases instead of deleting them. Lastly, the MusicBrainz identifiers that have been referenced anywhere will become invalid when the entity is deleted. Merging can avoid this problem. When merged, the old identifiers are still valid and will forward to the entity that it is merged into. Secondly, even if there is no useful data attached to the entity, it is possible that someone may enter it before your removal is approved, so the new data will be lost. So, if there is a method to solve an issue without a removal, you should do so. So here I have some duplicate releases. They both have the same label, catalog number, and also link to Discogs. However, I did notice that one of them had official status, while the other had a promotional status. After looking at the Discogs link that they were both linked to, I found out that it was supposed to be a promotional CG. When merging releases, you should choose one release to become the destination release. The destination release should have better or more information than the other releases. And in this case, I chose this release because it had more details on the people who worked on the songs. However, since this release has the incorrect status, I'll have to change it. For the edit note, I copy and pasted the URL for the Discogs link as it provides the information I used. The changes don't happen immediately, but it'll eventually get approved, so you don't have to worry. Now we're ready to merge the two releases. Scroll down and click on the merge link in the sidebar. You'll find that at the bottom of the page, you'll be able to keep track of the releases you want to merge. Now, navigate to the other release and click the same link. You will be brought to a page to merge your releases. If you have more releases to add to your list, you can continue to add them by navigating to the pages and clicking the same link. Once you have selected all the duplicated releases, select one release to merge all the releases into. You should select the release with the most correct information, and if there is no difference, then choose the older entry. Then, select the Merge Mediums and Recordings strategy. Another important part is to indicate why the releases should be merged. It's also helpful to provide a URL to your sources. And now you're done. Again, the changes don't immediately happen, but after a while, your edit should be approved. I found this release that only had disc 2. After a bit of searching, I found the first half of the release on Discogs. For this video, I added the first half of the release separately, so I could show you how to merge multi-disc releases. I also added extra things, such as the record label and the cover. Since I added the first release based off the information from Discogs, I had to change the lengths of the songs of the second disc on MusicBrainz in order to match the information from Discogs. So now I've made the changes to the lengths. Before merging the two releases, I had to make sure that the release artists are the same, so I have to add the other artist to the release I made. Now we're ready to merge the two releases. Click on the merge link in the sidebar of both releases, and you will be brought to a merge releases page. If you have more releases to add to your list, you can continue to add them by navigating to the release page. Then, select one of the releases to merge all the discs into. Usually it's disc 1, but if other releases have better or more information, feel free to use that one. Select append mediums to target release, and make sure that the new positions of the discs are correct. Usually the position will be filled automatically if the release name indicates which disc it is. Only if independent discs have titles, fill the new disc title fields. This will also be auto-set if the individual discs have disc titles. Otherwise, leave this field blank. You should also not add disc 1 or CD 1 as a disc title. Then, indicate why the discs should be merged in the edit note. Pasting a URL helps too. The changes don't happen automatically, so you don't have to worry. If the release name indicates which disc it is, you should now edit it to remove that part. Also, if it has a title for the disc, not for the whole release, you should edit it to the title of the whole release. Here I'm also adding the second artist to the release. Remember to put something in the edit note too. If you want to merge your already existing multi-disc release with an orphaned disc, you have to go about things a bit differently. The orphaned disc actually had more tracks, so I had to edit that first. Navigate to the track list, and you'll find that the disc is labeled as medium 1. Use the up and down arrows to move the disc into the appropriate medium. In this case, I'll be moving the disc to medium 3 because it's the third disc. Changes made to the number of tracks aren't automatically applied, so you'll have to wait a bit before merging. Now you're ready to merge the two releases. Select the release you want to merge the others into, and select the merge mediums and recordings strategy. You'll find that MusicBrainz won't allow you to use the other strategy, as two mediums are in one position. Once you add the edit note and enter the edit, you're done. In my case, the edit wasn't successful because my change to the track numbers still needed to be approved. I hope this video was helpful, and now you know how to merge releases in different situations.